So today we'll be talking about immunopharmacology. Immunopharmacology will include two different types of drugs. One are drugs that will suppress your immunity. The other will include drugs that stimulate your immunity. So accordingly, they are called immunosuppressants and immunostimulants. Okay. So first we'll go over immunosuppressants. Now these are drugs that will inhibit your immunity. They will inhibit either cell-mediated immunity or humoral immunity. Okay. Now, different drugs will inhibit different this thing. Cell mediated immunity में mainly T cell involved रहता, humoral immunity में B cell involved रहता, where antibodies are produced and all. ठीक है. T cells do not have the capability of producing antibodies. B cell will produce something called a plasma cell, and that plasma cell has the capability of producing antibodies, which will be part of your humoral immunity. Cell mediated immunity में दो type of T cells रहते, T cytotoxic cells and T helper cell. Okay. You have a T suppressor cell, that is a different story, but mainly two cells, T helper cells and T cytotoxic cells, which you call CD4 plus and CD8 plus T cells. Now, in immunosuppressants, there are three main classes. One is T cell inhibitor. Once again, T cell inhibitor. ठीक है, T cell inhibitors में आते cyclosporin, tacrolimus, sirolimus, there is everolimus, mycophenolate. ठीक है. Mycophenolate mofetil बल्कि एक ड्रग रहता. All of these. Then second class will be second class is cytotoxic drugs. Now you will find, if you learn immunopharmacology properly, you'll find several of these drugs being repeated in cancer chemotherapy as well. You have cancer pharmacology as well, and उसमें भी ये immunosuppressant drugs will be used to a certain extent. Cytotoxic drugs. Cytotoxic drugs में mainly आते azathioprine, you have methotrexate, इसको MTX भी बोलते हैं, methotrexate को. Other than that, cyclophosphamide, you also have chlorambucil and leflunomide included in this. Okay, so those are all the drugs. Leflunomide, flunomide. Okay, and finally the last class in immunosuppressants, third class, will be glucocorticoids. Now, glucocorticoids में mainly it will include immunosuppressant antibodies. तो muromonab, infliximab वो पूरे आते हैं इसमें. Muromonab, you will have infliximab. Other than that, you can also include antithymocyte globulin, वो भी आता है इसमें. Antithymocyte globulin. Okay, I'm trying to keep it as minimum as possible because you are learning it for the first time. Again, it can cause confusion. Once you go into cancer chemotherapy, you will learn a little more, a few more drugs that are included in this. For now, we'll only ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ेंगे इसको. Okay, so at least not a lot of drugs. We'll look at the first class, T cell inhibitors. Okay, T cell inhibitors में we'll look at cyclosporin. Now, T cell inhibitor का मतलब यह है कि it is inhibiting cell mediated immunity. Specifically cyclosporin, the way it works is that it will bind to a very specific protein present in your blood called cyclophilin. ठीक है, there is a protein in your blood called cyclophilin. Mechanism of action: drug binds with, one second, yeah, cyclosporin binds with cyclophilin and makes a complex. ठीक है, there is a protein present in your blood named cyclophilin, and this drug whenever you give cyclosporin to the patient, that drug enters into your blood and it will go and make a complex with cyclophilin. The result is that this complex which is being formed will inhibit one very very important enzyme called calcineurin phosphatase. This complex inhibits calcineurin phosphatase. Now, why is calcineurin phosphatase important? Calcineurin phosphatase is important for activation of T cells, cell cycle. बहुत सारे functions रहते हैं calcineurin phosphatase के, but one important function of calcineurin phosphatase is to activate T cells. If you are inhibiting this calcineurin phosphatase with the help of your drug or with the help of the complex that you are making with the help of drug, what will happen is T cells will never get activated. This will lead to inhibition of T cell activation and interleukin 2 production. Okay. As a result, what will happen is your cell mediated immunity will significantly decrease. Or its response decreases, to put it another way. सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी डिक्रीज होने का मतलब यह है कि इसका रिस्पॉन्स कम हो जाता. सो सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज whenever, let us suppose you have some kind of injury, or whenever inflammation is being triggered as such, at one point or the other, cell mediated immunity will come into picture. T cells are getting activated. What you are doing is you are stopping the process of their activation by giving T cell inhibitors, by giving immunosuppressants. You are not letting T cells get activated. If T cells are not getting activated and interleukins are not produced, they will not be able to proliferate that information. They'll not be able to tell that information कि इधर देखो इधर इंजरी हो रही, यहाँ पर inflammatory cells की जरूरत है, यहाँ पर immune cells की जरूरत है. So that messenger is essentially interleukin 2. If you are suppressing interleukin 2 production and you are suppressing T cell activation, T cells will produce interleukin 2 whenever they get activated. So what will happen is your cell mediated immunity does not have any signal to trigger it. Okay. Once T cell activation is being stopped, further action from cell mediated immunity does not occur. पहले CD4 plus 8 CD4 plus T cells आते हैं, फिर CD8 plus T cells आते हैं, then finally उन लोगों को suppress करने के लिए TS cells आते हैं. यहाँ पर you are not letting CD4 plus T cells activate at all. Okay, that is how you are stopping the response. So that is how this drug works, cyclosporin, and it is able to suppress your immunity. इसको यूज करने के लिए see, you use it in organ transplant reaction. Whenever you are transplanting liver, kidneys and all of them, graft rejection reactions हो सकते. So what happens is, even though you match a lot of proteins before you give a organ, or you donate an organ to a different person, and you know transfer an organ into a different person. Let us suppose there is kidney transplant surgery. किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट में आप एक ओरिजिनल पर्सन के पास से लेके दूसरे पर्सन में डाल रहे किडनी, इवन इफ दे आर डायरेक्ट रिलेटिव्स, फर्स्ट डिग्री रिलेटिव्स. लेट अस सपोज इट इज अ फादर एंड सन, और चाइल्ड, essentially siblings. Even if they are siblings, let's suppose, क्या होता, even if most of their proteins are similar, their HLAs will be slightly different. One way or the other, there will be slight difference between them. And that is when the problem will come. That is when this new kidney that you are putting into this person who is the uh, recipient of the kidney. So you'll have a donor and a recipient, right? There is a donor of the kidney and there is a recipient of the kidney. You're removing a kidney from him and you're putting it into the recipient. Now, what will happen is the recipient's body will treat that kidney as a pathogen because it is a external material, foreign body. For a period of time, that kidney will be treated as pathogen until and unless you are externally suppressing their immunity. What we do is pharmacologically, after we perform the surgery of transplanting the kidney or whichever organ is being transplanted, you are supposed to suppress their immunity to a bare minimum, and you have to make sure that they are living in aseptic conditions. They'll be completely in hospital for that period of time. It'll take 1 or 2 months, maybe less, a couple of weeks in certain patients, maybe 1 month or so in some patients, till the recipient's body has gotten adapted to that new kidney or to that new organ. Once the recipient's body has adapted to that new organ, there will be no reaction from their immunity. Till that point of time, you need to suppress the recipient's immunity. अगर suppress नहीं करे तो that kidney will be treated as a pathogen and the kidney itself will be destroyed by the recipient's body, specifically by the recipient's immune system. That is where these immunosuppressants will come into picture. ठीक है, बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट में भी इसको यूज करना पड़ता. All right. Main adverse effects that occur with these drugs include, specifically with cyclosporin, will be nephrotoxicity, very, very toxic. It will cause ADR, nephrotoxicity. It can cause hypertension, hepatotoxicity, hepatotoxicity, can cause gum hypertrophy. ठीक है, या गम्स, जो टीथ के पास आपके गम्स रहते हैं, दे विल अंडरगो हाइपरट्रोफी. इंक्रीज ससेप्टेबिलिटी टू इन्फेक्शन because you are suppressing immunity. That is a side effect with all immunosuppressants. Whenever you suppress the immunity externally, what will happen is the patient will become more prone to infections. That is why they'll become more susceptible to infections. That is one of the reason why it is very, very important to keep them in aseptic conditions. Okay, even if there is a mild infection, there is a very good chance that they will die because their immunity is being completely suppressed. Okay, other than that, it can also cause hyperglycemia, hyperlipidemia, and hirsutism, abnormal hair growth. ठीक है, these are all the adverse effects related to cyclosporin. Very, very well, peculiar drug. A lot of adverse effects. Mainly used in organ transplant reactions. You can also use it in autoimmune disorders, especially autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis में क्या होता? It is essentially inflammation of the joints of your body because of a problem in your immune system. So your immune system, specifically your immunoglobulins, are attacking, the body is producing immunoglobulins against the proteins of your body. Specifically, those proteins are going and targeting the structures in your joints. And what will happen is, as a result, your joints will start getting inflamed because of inflammatory damage. They will become swollen. That will be very painful and all. तो वो सिचुएशन में यू कैन गिव साइक्लोस्पोरिन. इन सर्टेन केसेस यू कैन इवन गिव मेथोट्रेक्सेट. ठीक है, मेथोट्रेक्सेट के ऑल्टरनेटिव के वैसा साइक्लोस्पोरिन को दे सकते. You can give it in atopic dermatitis, inflammatory bowel disease, nephrotic syndrome. You can also give it in psoriasis. Severe psoriasis में भी cyclosporin दे सकते हैं आप. Okay, so that is about cyclosporin. If you have doubts in the mechanism of action or any detail, please feel free to ask. Okay, now coming to the next class of drugs, we have cytotoxic drugs. Cytotoxic drugs क्या करते हैं? They will also inhibit cell-mediated immunity. Most of cytotoxic drugs will inhibit cell-mediated immunity. There is one exception though, cyclophosphamide. Cyclophosphamide has the ability to inhibit humoral immunity. Okay, usage is pretty much the same. Graft rejection reactions and autoimmune diseases में use करते हैं इसको. Used in graft rejection reactions, so organ transplant essentially, rejection and autoimmune diseases. ठीक है, autoimmune disorder, sorry. Now इसमें main drug is leflunomide. ठीक है, leflunomide is a prodrug. Once it is entering into your body, it will turn into an active metabolite. That active metabolite has the capability of inhibiting T cell proliferation. It will not let T cell proliferate, and it will not let antibody production occur by B cells. So it is inhibiting both cell mediated and humoral immunity. So active metabolite of leflunomide inhibits T cell proliferation. So यहाँ पर cell mediated immunity को inhibit कर रहा, plus antibody production by B cells. specifically plasma cells that are produced by B cells. Okay, so it affects both cell mediated immunity and um, humoral immunity. Now, this drug enters intrahepatic circulation. So, generally speaking, its bioavailability will be pretty low. Okay, you can give it orally, pretty effective orally. It has a very, very, very long T half. T half is around 5 to 40 days. It'll stay inside your body for a very, very long time. Okay, very long T half drug. Then generally ये drugs को once in 1 month, once in 2 months ऐसा देते. Okay, uh, this drug can be combined with methotrexate, especially in patients who have rheumatoid arthritis and they are not responding to methotrexate alone. In those patients, you can combine leflunomide and methotrexate together. Okay. Then we have the last class of drugs, that is immunosuppressant antibodies. One second. Yeah. So as I was telling, immunosuppressant antibodies में mainly आपका infliximab, muromonab, ये पूरे जो है antibodies को inhibit करते, ठीक है. Monoclonal antibodies, these will act as an antibody to CD3 antigens on T lymphocyte. So they themselves they are acting as antibodies to the antigens of your T lymphocyte. So आपके T lymphocyte पे, let us suppose this is your T lymphocyte. This T lymphocyte will have different proteins that are present on their surface. Okay, these will essentially be the antigens to your drug. Okay, so for example, I am giving muromonab to the patient. Muromonab. Whenever I'm giving muromonab to the patient, होता क्या, this drug itself will act as a monoclonal antibody. आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप laboratory में एक antibody बना रहे for the T cell that is present in the patient. ठीक है. Now every patient, every human will have T cells. ठीक है. Until unless there is a genetic problem, they will have T cells. These drugs will essentially act as a deleter of those T cells. It will act as a antibody to the T cell. So T cell itself is a cell mediated, immune cell. वो सेल के अगेंस्ट आप एंटीबॉडी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. नाउ नॉर्मली इन योर इम्यूनिटी यू हैव, सी, इम्यूनिटी में आपके टी सेल्स रहते हैं and B cells रहते हैं ना. These B cells have the capability of producing immunoglobulins or antibodies. What you are doing is you are externally making new antibodies against this T cell. So in this scenario, the T cell will be the antigen. Specifically, the CD3 plus, the CD4 plus antigens which are present, CD4 plus proteins that are present on the T cell, those will act as antigens to this antibody. ये antibody specifically जाके क्या करता, T lymphocyte को kill कर देता. It will go and kill this T lymphocyte, or it will severely suppress that T lymphocyte. And generally speaking, whenever you administer muromonab, infliximab, ये पूरे drugs जब आप IV administer कर दे, you will see that T cells will disappear within minutes. If you, let's suppose you withdraw a little bit of blood, check the amount of T cells that are present in the patient's blood at, let's suppose, time 0 or 0th hour. After you give IV of immunomonab or infliximab, within 5 to 10 minutes, you will see that, let's suppose at 10th minute, you are seeing, you are withdrawing blood again and you are checking the amount of T cells. You will see that almost no T cells are present inside their body. All of them will be killed by muromonab. Okay. So those are immunosuppressant antibodies. I'm not going into the detail of cytotoxic drugs or immunosuppressant antibodies because we'll study them again in next chapter. Okay. In that we'll go into a lot more detail when compared to this. आपकी immunopharmacology में बहुत lightly included है वो. Then that concludes immunosuppressants. You have immunostimulants. Immunostimulants, now as the name suggests, these will stimulate your immune system. They will increase the immune system's response. इन लोगों को immunomodulators भी बोलते हैं. Especially ये किसमें देते हैं, immunostimulants are given in patients who are immunocompromised, like AIDS या फिर cancer, ठीक है, और chronic illness, any chronic illness in which the patient's immunity has become completely tanked, उसमें immunostimulants देते हैं आप. ठीक है. Now immunostimulants में the drugs that are included will be one is thalidomide. ठीक है. Thalidomide used to be used, अभी उतना ही नहीं यूज कर रहे. They are better drugs. This is very very teratogenic. When you are discussing about discussing the first chapter, I told you this will cause sea lion syndrome. In 1960s 1970s it caused a big problem. तो जब से उतना यूज नहीं करने लगे. This drug will inhibit angiogenesis and it will enhance cell mediated immunity. ठीक है. By acting on T cells it will enhance the activity of T cells. Immunostimulants are the exact opposite of immunosuppressants. वो ड्रग्स इम्यूनिटी को सप्रेस करते हैं, ये ड्रग्स इम्यूनिटी को बढ़ाते हैं. ठीक है. आप इसको मल्टीपल माइलोमा में यूज कर सकते हैं, लेप्रेसी में यूज कर सकते हैं, lupus erythematosus में यूज कर सकते हैं. Then there are interferons. Interferons are essentially, how should I put it? They are cytokines. They are a type of cytokines with the antiviral and immunomodulatory activity. Okay, they will act as antiviral agents and they will act as immunomodulatory. They will have immunomodulatory property. They are like cytokines. Cytokines are normally produced inside your body. When we were studying about immunity, I told you about cytokines. They are different mediators of immunity that are being released during, mediators of inflammation that are released during inflammatory process. Because cytokines क्या करते हैं essentially, एक जगह कहीं भी pathogen आया समझो, let us suppose there is a pathogen coming into your lung and there is inflammatory reaction that is supposed to start in your lung. What will happen is the message is sent from one cell to other cell through other cell, so that the whole of your immunity is being activated. That message is being sent through cytokines. Your interferons will be very similar to those cytokines. ठीक है. इंटरल्यूकिन्स, टीएनएफ अल्फा वैसे रहते, इंटरफेरॉन्स वो पूरे एक ही फैमिली के हैं. ठीक है. These will specifically bind to certain receptors and they will bring about immune activity. They will also increase host cell defenses. ठीक है. Basic defense of the host against any virus and any other pathogen. Specifically virus के against interferons बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं. You have interferon alpha and beta. Interferon alpha and beta. These will specifically be very good as antivirals. Okay, they will work very well against any viral infection that the patient has, or it will work as a prophylaxis against any viral infection that the patient might develop. ठीक है. अब अगर let's suppose it's a cancer patient or an AIDS patient, you will give these immunostimulants as a prophylactic measure. ठीक है. Just in case if the patient ever gets infected by virus or any other pathogen, at that period of time these immunostimulants, if they are present in the person's body, they will be able to put up a little bit of resistance against those pathogens. Neither the patient will immediately die. Even with a simple flu the patient will die because their immunity is completely tanked. There is no immune system present in their body. Especially cancer patients who are undergoing severe chemotherapy, several cycles of chemotherapy, या late stage AIDS patients जो later stage में चले आते AIDS के, they have a lot of opportunistic infections coming and infecting them. तो वो time पे immunostimulants use करना बहुत important है. Then other than interferons there is also immunization. Now immunization may essentially it will include vaccines and anti-sera. ठीक है. All vaccines and anti-sera will be included in this thing immunization or immunizing agents. ठीक है. They work against bacteria, viruses, and some other agents as well. The difference between vaccine and anti-sera is that anti-sera will act as a supplement. It will support your immune system, and they are essentially ready-made antibodies. Your vaccines will not contain antibodies. It will stimulate the production of antibodies. ठीक है. वैक्सीन इज वेरी डिफरेंट व्हेन कंपेयर टू एंटीसीरा. एंटीसीरा में आप एंटीबॉडी ही बना के दे दे रहे पेशेंट को. ठीक है. सो दैट फॉर एग्जांपल लेट अस सपोज यू आर मेकिंग एंटीसीरा एंटीबॉडीज अगेंस्ट राइनो वायरस. कॉमन फ्लू जो है उसके अगेंस्ट आप एंटीबॉडीज बना रहे, या टीबी के अगेंस्ट या पोलियो के अगेंस्ट आप एंटीबॉडीज बना रहे. यू आर मेकिंग एंटीबॉडीज एंड यू आर पुटिंग इट इन द पेशेंट्स बॉडी. ठीक है. Whereas in vaccines you are stimulating the production of antibodies. You are either putting what do you call, dead component of the virus, or you're putting something which can stimulate the production of antibodies inside your body. Okay, so that your memory cells are also being stimulated, and ultimately what will happen is these memory cells will survive, giving you lifelong immunity. That is the purpose of vaccine. Anti-sera will act as a support to the immune system. Okay, you are essentially giving ready-made antibodies to the patient. That is anti-sera. Other than that, in certain conditions, you can give immunoglobulins. Okay, gamma immunoglobulins, tetanus का immunoglobulin, rabies, anti-diphtheria, hepatitis B, ये पूरे immunoglobulins आप inject कर सकते हैं patients में. ठीक है. Generally speaking, if you give anti-sera, there is a chance that the patient might get serum sickness, or the patient might undergo anaphylactic reaction. That problem will not be present with immunoglobulins if you give direct immunoglobulins. ठीक है. So that will include all types of immunostimulants. Main nursing implications that you need to remember, especially with immunosuppressant drugs, will be always maintain antiseptic conditions. Especially these patients are anyway, they will be isolated in different wards. Okay, not everyone will have access to them. Only certain doctors and only certain nurses. And even when they are accessing those patients, they will have to maintain strict aseptic conditions. They'll have to sterilize their whole body. They'll have to sterilize, they'll have to put on a proper gown. Surgery के लिए कैसा prepare करके जाते हैं, वैसे जाना पड़ता वार्ड में. Even if you are doing a simple ward round, ठीक है, clinical rotation भी कर रहे हो तो आप, because even if there is a single bacteria or pathogen that is entering into that patient's body, there is a very good chance the patient will die because they have no immunity. So make sure that you maintain aseptic conditions and keep monitoring the patient for any infection. If there is even slight fever, immediately report that. Okay, or if they are showing any signs of infection, immediately report it to the doctor. Okay, so that concludes our immunopharmacology. In the next class, we'll start cancer chemotherapy. In that, we'll go into a little more detail about these cytotoxic drugs and immunosuppressant, this thing, antibodies. Okay? Any example of anti-sera? एंटी-सीरा आजकल उतना यूज नहीं कर रहे, एक टाइम पे उसको रेबीज में यूज करते थे. Because there is a lot of problem with their anaphylactic reactions, they are not being used as much. I just gave you an example so that they were being used. Nowadays immunoglobulins are preferred, they are much more useful. But same immunoglobulins जिसको यूज कर रहे थे पहले एंटीसीरा यूज करते थे उन लोगों के लिए. Because antisera had the problem of anaphylaxis, immunoglobulins were developed, and nowadays mainly immunoglobulins are being used. In some patients it will cause a lot of problem, both severe anaphylactic reactions ho sakta, they might go into anaphylactic shock. That is why usage of antisera has been, uh, even if it is not completely inhibited, it has been severely decreased. Not a lot of people will use antisera altogether. Okay.